What's going on, everyone? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. No shilling of my eBay store with this video because this is an off topic issue and a pretty much important issue because, guys, please be careful with what you do with things like this. This doesn't happen that often with me. I'm very careful what I take into my body. As many of you know, I've discussed this already that I was diagnosed recently with being pre-diabetic. I've been diagnosed with being pre-type 2 diabetic, which is the bad one. That's the A1C one, where you can lose your eyesight. You can get fingers and toes amputated. You can have issues with your heart. Now, I used to be close to 300 pounds at one time, and now I'm floating around 198 to 208. But that took a lot of work. That took about maybe a year and a half to 2 years to accomplish. I'm very happy with that, to the point where I had to buy all new clothes. My wardrobe back to front, my t-shirts, my underpants, blue jean shorts, everything. Even my jerseys, I've either thrown out, given away, or sold on eBay many of my jerseys that were 2XL. They look, anything 2XL on me looks ridiculous. So I've had to do a complete wardrobe change. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing, but it took a lot of hard work. I don't eat a lot of takeout to begin with. I cook all my meals, mostly. And unless I'm with the guys, I don't like eating McDonald's or Burger King or anything like that. And if I do, it's in moderation. It's once every whenever. The one big thing with me, unfortunately, is my, I guess you want to say, notorious consumption of ethanol in the form of beer. I always loved beer, especially, being here in the South. If you don't drink, at least one beer or two beers with people, nobody's really going to take you seriously. It's like a rite of passage and part of the culture here. And for me, that's a bad temptation because, unfortunately for me, I turn into a complete jackass when I drink liquor like Jägermeister or whiskey or tequila or vodka. I don't like those things. I stop taking them. There's been a lot of temptation to ingest such substances. I have taken a personal vow to stay away from that stuff. I don't like what it does to me. I don't like what it does to my attitude and my behavior. I don't like how it makes me feel the next day as far as hangovers are concerned. And obviously now, being under threat of becoming type 2 diabetic, that's a good enough reason to not want to do those sorts of things, because knowing how I have this insatiable need to know things, like when I got diagnosed with pulmonary sarcoid when I was at that World Trade Center site from September 12th to September 16th, shuffling around in that toxic stew, I don't want to say I became obsessed with sarcoid, but I had to know everything that there was to know about it, and that's what started me down the path of taking supplements. You have to forgive me if I'm stuttering and gaffing here. There's a reason why this is happening. So, anyway, yeah, so I don't drink liquor. I don't drink booze, but I love drinking beer. There's a case of 18 Miller Lights outside my door, still in its case, unopened. There's a bunch of beer in one of my coolers, and I keep it outside my door because the temptation is there to consume that beer. I don't like drinking alone. And the only time I do drink is when I'm with my friends. Recently, which of course they're really, I will say my friends have been very respectful, but in the beginning I think they were like, huh? But I'm glad I got the friends I got, because recently, because of this pre-diabetic diagnosis that I got, let's just say if I load up the cooler, I bring water, I bring Gatorade, I bring Red Bull or some sort of energy drink, and I'll cut the beer. So if I have some beer, I'll take a chug of water, or I'll drink a bottle of water. So for every one can I drink, I'll drink a bottle of water. And eventually my the number of beers that I will consume has been drastically reduced, to the point where, like, because I've already filled my stomach up with so much water, and so much fruit juice that my body can't tolerate ingesting so much beer anymore. As a result, of course, you're going to be peeing like a racehorse. But I tell you what, it's worth it because I can have my cake, eat it too, and the hardcore hangover and the Jekyll and Hyde behavioral change can be dismissed. And I've got it down to that point, and I'm very happy that I've been able to control myself that way. And I can tell you, my demeanor has changed. My outlook on things has changed. I feel more relaxed. I feel more calm, especially since I'm not dealing with hangovers and headaches and all that stuff. And plus, the fear of going through what my uncle is currently going through back in New York City with type 2 diabetes. He's had toes amputated. He's had how many issues with his heart that they've had to go in there and fix his heart, with his eyes being bad and everything like that. I'm not going to end up like that. So I'm very careful. If I eat takeout, it's rare. But again, I've had to make a lot of changes in my life. But obviously the big one is the consumption of beer, which I have literally cut down to almost nothing at this point, which is a good thing. And my friends have noticed that. And I'm grateful that they're supportive of me. So if I have a beer, I'll drink a bottle of water with it. And if I can't drink water with it or something with it, I'm not drinking at all, period. And that's that. And I've been sticking to that so far. And I'm not going to just walk away from that. That's how it is. But here are a lot of the compounds I'm taking. I actually have 3 little crates like this that I have that I rotate through. So I take potassium. We don't get enough potassium in our diet, even though it says only take 1 or 2. I take 10 of these a day because we don't get enough potassium in our diets. And I really don't eat a lot of bananas or anything like that. So I get my potassium through supplement form, but I don't want to overdose. So it's taken me a lot of research and homework to decide the exact dosage to take when it comes to potassium. So haven't had any issue with this. I take nicotinic acid. There's calcium, magnesium, zinc, and D3. I've stopped taking B complex because now I take very targeted B vitamins like B12 here, etc. L-carnitine. Now, here's one that I do modify, and that's the consumption of omega-3. Now, this is EPA and DHA, which is good for your brain, good for blood sugar. It's good for all sorts of stuff, right? Problem is, it gives me a stomach ache. So you're supposed to take 3 of this particular omega-3, but I only take 2, which is why and by the way, idiot-proof. I idiot-proof these, so I know exactly what denomination I'm taking, so that this way I don't overload. But this is one of those supplements that I take where it gives me a sour stomach, which most fish oil does. So I actually, oh my God, man, am I stuttering? There's a reason why I'm stuttering. So I take algae-based omega to supplement the omega-3 so that this way the stomach irritation can be dismissed. So I'm still getting my cake, still having my cake and eating it too. And I just introduced this recently, which is acetylcholine. And all of these things have really helped to regulate my demeanor, help me sleep better, manage my weight, manage my blood sugar. And now I started taking alpha-lipoic acid, benfotiamine, and dihydroberberine. I did introduce a 4th compound, L-methylfolate, which is a refined version of folic acid. And this is where the problem started with me. And that's why I'm stuttering like the way I am recently. Why you hear I'm so drawn out. The last couple of days I've been drawn out. I started taking this along with everything else, and it was working. God, I felt amazing almost immediately when taking L-methylfolate. And then as I continued to take it, something started to happen with me where I feel like numb. I feel like jelly. I feel dizzy. I've heard comparisons where it almost feels like you have the flu, but the um, harmful effects of the flu could be dismissed. Like the symptoms are flu-like almost, and that's what's happening with me. Which is why I didn't make a video yesterday. I actually, for the rest of my viewers here on the channel, where I broke 4 boxes of Topps Chrome. I had 4 blaster boxes that I broke. And I just could not formulate a sentence. I couldn't focus. I felt weak. I felt tired. I felt drawn out. And today I'm a little better. I actually ordered some stuff from Walmart. I know I'm kind of like bouncing around here a little bit, but excuse me. With all of these things, I can tell something's different. My demeanor has calmed down quite a bit. I feel more relaxed. I feel more grounded. I feel more focused. The problem is when I introduced L-methylfolate to the equation, the first couple days I was doing amazing. But then all of a sudden I started getting those flu-like symptoms, where I felt weak, I felt numb, I felt like jelly, I felt tired, I almost couldn't get out of bed. Today I didn't want to take a risk. I actually went on Walmart's app. I ordered niacinamide, which is the reduced form of nicotinic acid, which is niacin, which will help neutralize the effects of this. So that's on its way. And I also needed some stuff from Walmart, but I would be quite foolish to put other people in danger by going out in my car when I'm feeling like this. So I decided to take the high road and be responsible and stay home, let somebody else do the shopping. If I have to pay an extra $10 plus tip to have a delivery to my home of stuff without causing harm to myself or somebody else, I think that's the right thing to do. So I'm going to start taking niacinamide to help counteract the effects of the methylfolate. I was very shocked because I was feeling fantastic. I don't know what happened, just like in a drop of a dime. And I followed the instructions. With this particular one, you see there's the number 1 up on top. It recommends only 1. Which is how, I came about all of these numbers. Now, with the exception of the omega-3 and the algae omega and the potassium, everything else is where it's supposed to be. I believe the acetyl-L-carnitine for a guy my age, you can actually take 6 times the recommended daily dosage, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be on overload because I don't know if my body can tolerate it. But I did bump this up a little bit, so it hasn't affected me negatively or anything like that. But it's the methylfolate that just completely took me by surprise. I was feeling like I was on top of my game. I'm really concerned about this diabetes diagnosis. I don't want to go blind. I mean, it's only recently I started wearing reading glasses, and that's probably because of my blood sugar being too high. I've actually had 3 toenails come off that have started growing back normally now. Thank God, But I've taken this thing really seriously. I'm transitioning over from regular Gatorade to sugar-free Gatorade. One of my vices, which many of you are instantly probably going to start typing up in the comments about, are the energy drinks. That's my source of caffeine. I don't like coffee. But I'm switching over to sugar-free Red Bull or sugar-free whatever. I'm trying to find which one has the lowest sugar. All of them have some sort of sugar in some form. So don't let that zero sugar crap fool you. Everything has sugar in it because obviously our obsessive compulsive need to have everything taste good, in our American discourse. But I want to be able to take something that I can have the dangerous effects dismissed. So anyway, with all that being said, I'm really, really trying to clamp down on all of this. I'm trying to be a little bit more responsible. Obviously, I'm not drinking as much as I once did. I know my friends are a little shocked by that, but I mean, hey, I got to do what I got to do. And all these compounds, with the exception of this one, have really, really made a difference so far. I can tell something is different with me because I don't feel irritable. I don't feel nervous. I don't feel anxious. My hunger or my need to, because I'm a big eater. I eat a lot of meat. I eat a lot of steaks. My doctor is telling me don't eat too much pastas, don't eat too much of this, eat too much of that. But I cook all my meals anyway. I don't make junk. So, I've had to find like low starch, low calorie stuff to cook, things like that. So all of those changes are helping. Taking all of this stuff to help rid my body and hopefully counteract the effects of high blood sugar. It's been doing well. I've been mitigating all of the negative effects to dismiss all this stuff. But this here, guys, be very careful with this. Unfortunately, it seems I'm one of those people that my body simply cannot tolerate it. It cannot process the methyl groups. And once a niacinamide comes, I'm going to start taking in niacinamide, and it should be able to counteract the effects of this. And then I'm going to find one of those medical drop boxes that you see at like, I think CVS has them. Some Walmart's got them. Or, I can always Google where can I find a medical drop box and dump this in a jar, because you don't want to flush this down a toilet, obviously. So I think I have one other bottle of this. I'm going to take it and just, I don't care how much I paid for it, put it in a medical drop box, and that'll be the end of that. And I'm going to have to find some other alternative to this, because clearly my body's not tolerating it well. Again, everything's fine. I'm all right. Everything's cool. Compared to the way I was feeling yesterday, I'm doing a lot better today, which is why I didn't make a video for you guys, especially, my baseball card box breaks. I broke 4 boxes of 2024 Topps Chrome. To be specific, I broke 4 blaster boxes, and I just could not keep a sentence. So today, all day, I've been eating good. I had 2 good meals. I'm about to make a 3rd one, as a matter of fact. I've been drinking seltzer water to flush my system. I've been drinking bottled water. I've been drinking juice. Like I said, I went on the Walmart app to get niacinamide. I have juice coming. As a matter of fact, I ordered 4 quarts of juice just to have it in stock. Should I feel dehydrated? But I got Gatorade anyway here. I always keep a good stock of Gatorade. It always helps. So I've been doing everything I can, making all the right moves, doing all the right things, and, I'll be fine. But just be careful, guys. Be careful what you do. I know, I plan on living forever. I have no intention on ending up in a forever box. Even though I've had, bad bouts of depression and anxiety and stuff like that, and sadness. And, unfortunately, in my case, I've turned to alcohol, or beer, to be specific, one too many times, where it can make the symptoms go away, but it doesn't fix the problem, And doing all of this has helped it change, And plus, I see a therapist once in a while. There's no shame in that. Don't let nobody tell you that there's any shame in that. And it's been a big help to help kind of like, guide me and focus me a little bit more. It's more like sharpening a good steak knife before you cut into a steak. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can describe it. But clearly this has had adverse effects on me, so I'm not going to be taking this no more. Be very careful, guys. As far as my eBay customers are concerned, I will prepare your orders when I'm a little bit more focused. Right now, I don't feel focused. I want to try to get that niacin in me when it shows up, or the niacinamide when it shows up. And hopefully it'll counteract what's happening right now. I've been doing a lot of reading and a lot of research, and that's how it's done. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll see what happens. Thank you for your patience and your time, everyone. I know the human body can be a very complex and complicated biological machine. If you treat it right, it'll treat you right. If you abuse it, it'll break down. And me, well, this is where I'm at right now. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out my video. Take care. God bless. Stay safe, and be careful with this stuff, guys. Don't play games with this crap, because it can actually do more harm than good. And see your doctor once in a while. It helps. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.